We always hear the phrase Happy Memorial Day, but is it really a day that we should be happy about? Barbara Williford here from East Texas, your faith-inspired lifestyle coach, bringing you some thoughts this Memorial Day, this Motivation Monday. I know I'm coming on early, but if you are watching me live, drop an emoji to tell me how you are spending today, and I will give you a shout out. My boys got up early this morning and they are golfing. My daughter's sleeping in, and I am enjoying this beautiful day that the Lord has made. We're going to grill this afternoon and have the kiddos over. If you are watching the replay, type replay and drop that emoji. You know, Galatians 5:13 in the Bible says, "You, my brothers, were called to be free. But do you use your freedom to indulge in sinful nature rather than serve one another in love?" You know, Memorial Day is typically viewed as the kickoff to summer, and while we enjoy that 3-day weekend with the family, either, hitting the lake or the beach or the golf course, having that family barbecue and enjoying time with family and friends, this holiday is also celebrated as something that I think it's hard for many of us to comprehend, and that's the sacrifice of soldiers' life for the sake of freedom. You know, in recent years we've heard many conflicting views on this matter, but I think it would be a mistake to see these brave men and women as merely victims. You know, each fallen soldier has a unique story. Each soldier is a hero who willingly laid down his or her life for a greater cause. John 15:13 says, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." The catcher is, these soldiers laid down their lives for millions of strangers. So think about that for a minute. You know, Memorial Day is an important national moment. It is a day to do more than barbecue. It is right and wise to remember the great price some have paid to preserve the historical, unprecedented civil and religious freedoms that we as Americans have the luxury and take largely for granted. But the importance of Memorial Day is more for our future than it is for our past. While it is crucial to remember all those nightmares of the past and why they happened, if we forget them, it's at our own peril. The future of the United States depends largely on how we collectively remember and cherish the liberty that we have. And there is a high cost to forgetting. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. But I think part of us view this as a long weekend for fun and relaxation because we have a hard time understanding the fallen soldiers and the difficulty that came with that sacrifice, especially when a sacrifice seems so final and appears to have no obvious reward. That's hard for us to wrap our brain around. For someone to actually give up everything for people he or she doesn't even know is hard to process for some of us, especially those hundreds of years in our past. We spend so much of our time trying to gain, trying to acquire, trying to win. Our country is the American dream, the land of opportunity. So contemplating the fallen soldier can feel uncomfortable and even confusing. But let's ponder another sacrifice. Christ's willingness to spill his blood for our sake. The only appropriate response to a sacrifice of this magnitude would be to offer our lives in return. We can put it in terms of worship, saying that God first bowed down to us by becoming human, and now it is our turn to bow down to him and serve him. It may be pointless in some ways to acquire this freedom only to turn around and serve. But two thoughts come to mind. One is that a free person who chooses to serve knows freedom like no other. He has no need of taking from others because his sense of worth comes from a higher source. And the second is a truth that I need to constantly be reminded of, and that life is hard and unfair, but this life is nothing compared to the next. Anything we lose here is never truly lost if our lives belong to Christ. So as we commemorate Memorial Day as Americans, let's go out, let's appreciate the life we have, the family we have, go out and have fun. But let us do it with the profound gratitude for the extraordinary common grace given to us when men and women laid down their lives for the sake of American survival. And let us remember the past evils so that we won't repeat them in the future. And as Christians, let's make every day, as long as it is called today, a Memorial Day. Let us take care lest we forget the Lord. So I hope that you found value from this video. Listen, if you have a loved one that we need to remember on this Memorial Day, drop their name in the comments below so we can remember them. We can lift your family up in prayer on this difficult day so that we can thank them and you for their sacrifice for our country. And I pray that each and every one of you have a blessed and safe day.